Hello, everyone. This is Group One's film analysis. As you can see, unfortunately, two of our group members are not present here, Joshua and Raphael. So we will do our best to fill in for their parts. Okay, so to begin our presentation, I will begin the introduction section. My name is Efren. Uh, we were not sure of which movie we wanted to watch. We all had different likes and dislikes, and there was many films to pick from. There was also the added layer of an assembled film. An assembled film means that the cast shares the amount or roughly the same amount of time and collaborates. Um, so we had to pick a film that enhanced that characteristic. So we were not sure which film to pick, and there was many on the database, on school database. We ended up picking from genres, and we ended up on the horror section of the database. I quickly saw that they had the film Poltergeist and realized that that would be a good movie. After looking at it, it was not the original Poltergeist, but a remake of the movie. A quick Google search showed that the premise of the movie or film was of a family going through some mysterious activity and having one of their members being abducted by a poltergeist. They have to learn to work together to get their family member back. Some background information on the film is that it is not an original film. It is a remake of the original 1982's also called Poltergeist. It is written by David Lindsay and directed by Gil Kinahan. I personally have not watched the original film, but some reviews on the internet have said that it is not much different from the original. It is set in 2015, so some aspects of the movie are changed to fit in the time period, but not that much affects the film. The film was released on May 22nd, 2015 in theaters, and it has a running time of 1 hour and 33 minutes. Up next is the summary section given by Jesse.
Hello, my name is Jesse. This part of the report was actually assigned to our other group member, Joshua. Unfortunately, he's not able to present it, so I will do my best to present his part. In the film Poltergeist, it's basically an American supernatural horror film that was produced in Ontario. Basically, it's about a family that is struggling financially and moves to a new city in the suburbs, a new town in the suburbs, and the actual house was built on top of a old cemetery where there's dead bodies and stuff. And instead of moving the dead bodies, it said that the dead bodies were actually still right there later on in the film. Meanwhile, the family has no idea. They're going through their own problems. The wife and the husband were both struggling, trying to see if the wife should even go back to work. The husband's trying to make ends meet. They have three kids. The teenage daughter is actually going through a lot herself, trying to adapt to her new lifestyle and just going through her adolescence. The son is really scared. He's trying to learn how to become brave and basically becoming a man. And they're all going through their own individual problems, and the family itself is just isolated, I would say. Before they discovered that the house was haunted, the family encountered a lot of strange events that were going on in the house. There's multiple scenes where the children are the main victims and are horrified by the antics of the poltergeist. And even later on, the youngest daughter becomes abducted. The family does their best to get their family member back, but it's not easy. They try to go to paranormal experts to try to get help to get their daughter back. And each family member feels guilty for the daughter being abducted. The father himself tries to go inside the poltergeist where the daughter was sucked inside of her closet. But the poltergeist tries to stop him, or in the realm. And the experts try to stop him. Later on, they tie a rope into the realm, the portal from the room of the little girl and to the living room where the portal was, where the exit was. And later on, the little boy actually learns to be brave. He thinks about his little sister and he goes into himself and he was able to get her back. And as soon as the family got the boy and the daughter back, they ran to the car and they tried to drive off, but the car wouldn't drive off. They get sucked back into the house. Um, they try to go, and then they try to get the daughter back in. I guess like the souls that were not able to make it to heaven or to hell that are stuck right there. They try to get the daughter back, and then together they all try to like hold on to each other so that the daughter doesn't get sucked back into it. And then they were able to rescue her again. And one of the experts runs into the house, goes into the portal, and the portal lets go of the daughter so that they can be free. That's basically what happened in the movie.
Thank you, Jesse. We have the analysis section now given by Anna.
Hello, my name is Anna and I took part in doing the analysis. So Poltergeist was released on May 22nd, 2015, and it's actually based on the 1982 movie, like Stefan said in the production. It was also made 3 decades ago when the new film was being produced. It was directed by Jill Kinnan and written by David Lindsay and produced by Sam, Robert, and Toy Lee. The actors who played a role in the film were Sam Rockwell, Rosemary DeWitt, Jackson Turbino, Kyle Catlett, and many more that took part in that script. The companies that helped produce this film were the 20th Century Fox and Metro Goldwyn Mayer, which helped gross over 950 million worldwide, and in profits within Canada and the US grossed over 47 billion and with a budget of $35 million. And this was a lot. It is based on a family who just moved into the suburbs only to discover that they are being invaded by evil spirits, taking the youngest daughter of the Bowen family held captive by supernatural forces, and is a whole family that just comes together and rescue her. It consists of many jumps and scares, horror and thriller. The age rating of within this movie is with young adults, to young teenagers and young adults, and it's rated PG-13 because it has a sequence of violence, scariness, language, and horror images. The reason why it's intended for young teens to adults is because it's targeted to this group of audience that are around this age that can relate to them more. The genre of this movie is supernatural thriller. It is shown by casting shadows through having dark lightning to hide the supernatural forces in the movie. Diegetic and non-diegetic sounds were used to create suspense by using static sounds, the sound of loud storms, heartbeats, footsteps, and many more that were included in the movie. The music in the film is what really added the most fear factor, I believe, in my opinion. At first, the music would slowly pick up or sound suspenseful when one would think something is about to happen. Also, there would also be a sudden crescendo or blast of music during a jump scare, making the scene more scarier. And then for the discussion part, we all took part in doing it, and this is my part that I did. So for us as groups, we did use inclusive language such as we and us because we were all including each of our members to be part of this project because we're all in it together, and it makes us feel like we're included. With that, members did as well use language that acknowledged their needs, and that was by asking questions and responding back into a respectful manner. And by asking questions as a group, we got a better understanding of what should be done and be completed. When one of our team members spoke about giving their opinion or by asking questions, all the team members respected one another's opinions. And as we were looking to find a film to watch, Efren asked the whole team if we wanted to watch the movie Poltergeist, because it was a good movie that he watched before. The whole group all agreed we would pick that film to watch, as we nodded and in a respectful manner. As we said, we would be fine on whatever movie one of the team members wanted to watch.
Thank you, Anna. I will now add more to the discussion section that Anna has previously spoke about. In the film, the family uses casual language. That is because they are family, so they use simple language to communicate with each other. The parents, including the father and mother, talk very simple so that the children can understand. Their oldest daughter uses language more profanities since she is acting out because of the move. They use we talk throughout the film, especially in the beginning. This can be an example shown as the father says that it is something that we have to get together through and something that we have to do as a family. The film also includes nonverbal communication. An example of that would be when the oldest daughter is tucking the youngest sister into bed. It can be seen that even though she is acting out, she still cares about her younger sister. She plays a role in nonverbal communication because she shows affection towards her. Touch and physical touch is something that is also present in the movie. In the beginning, they were not as close and did not like touching. At the end of the movie, they can be seen hugging multiple times because of fear or because of relief of getting their younger sister back. Collaboration is something that also is included in the film to show an assembled cast. In the beginning of the film, it can be seen that they are very distant from each other. An example of this is that one scene shows the mother and two of their children planting flowers. The rest of the family is doing their own activity. At the end of the film, it is juxtaposed because they are all pulling the rope to get their young daughter or sibling back from the other realm. This shows collaboration since they are all trying to get their sister or daughter back and become one family together. Up next, we have the conclusion presented by Jesse.
For our film analysis, I volunteered to complete the conclusion part of the group report. Basically, I had to summarize the whole report and use that to reflect on what we all learned and got from analyzing this film. I received this role from my group member for our group by volunteering myself to complete this part when our group leader, Efren, asked us which roles we wanted to take. I was also assigned to complete at least 3 questions from the discussion part of the report. The questions in the discussion that I answered were about whether or not group members were showing empathy, interest in solving problems within the group, and if we use non-judgmental and appropriate language when communicating with our group, which I think is very important. Our group did a really good job in showing a liking for one another. They were genuinely polite. They were showing that they were willing to help each other solve any problems that would occur within the group. We all used non-judgmental language and had a good tone when communicating. This helped create a good relationship with one another and allowed us to get things done in a respectable manner. I personally enjoyed watching and examining the different aspects that this film had to offer. We all learned and got a lot from analyzing this film. What many people might think is that the haunted house from the movie was a curse to the family. But I feel like what our group learned was instead of it being a curse, it was actually a blessing. In the beginning of the film, you can see that the family is just going through their struggles and not really talking about what's going on with their own lives, kind of just dealing with them on their own. And I feel like when the haunted house, like when all the events occurred, the family learned that by coming together, they were able to bring their daughter back, and they learned that by doing that, they can get through anything. And it even brought them all closer together in the end. The daughter realized that the way she was acting with her family was not appropriate. Lots of things were solved by that. And I feel like our group did a really good job in applying this knowledge to our advantage and working together to complete this group assignment. Together, we were able to achieve this goal.
Thank you, Jesse. And with that, thank you for watching our presentation of our film analysis.